Judea was governed as a problem to be managed, not a society to be protected. Jerusalem was crowded, unstable, and watched closely by an occupying power. Taxation and debt reduced survival to calculation rather than certainty. Punishment was public, repetitive, and intended to discourage memory of resistance. When rebellion began, it followed years of accumulated strain. Rome interpreted rebellion as a logistical problem, answered not through negotiation, but through overwhelming military deployment. Inside the city, scarcity turned disagreement into violence. Food supplies were destroyed deliberately, ensuring hunger would decide the outcome. Villages were eliminated methodically, reducing entire regions to silence. Titus took command, and the gates of Jerusalem filled with thousands, unaware of the destruction to come. The city swelled with pilgrims, every step heavy with dust, fear, and the tension of encroaching Roman forces. Roman fortifications closed every exit, converting the city into a controlled environment. Siege ramps and towers rose gradually, converting time and labor into instruments of pressure. Rocks and bolts rained without pause, wearing down defenses and resolve alike. Civilians were trapped inside the city, counted as burdens, not lives, as walls sealed them in. Executions multiplied to the point that they ceased to shock and instead became environmental features. Food scarcity progressed predictably, moving from rationing to physiological deterioration.
They're inside!
Homes were forcibly searched, often violently, as organized hunger replaced social restraint. Survival overtook loyalty, and the bonds that once held families together began to crumble. Bodies lay in the streets unnoticed as life moved quietly around them, and mourning became a memory. Malnutrition and overcrowding accelerated disease without response or relief. Roman artillery breached the outer defenses, confirming the inevitability of collapse. As territory was lost, survivors compressed inward, increasing density and desperation. The temple became a shelter rather than a sanctuary. Roman commanders discussed the temple's fate as a tactical concern rather than a cultural one. Fire entered the temple precinct, spreading beyond any remaining control. Initial responses were subdued, marked more by disorientation than immediate panic. Organized resistance ended, replaced by containment, execution, and capture. Survivors were sorted for labor, transport, or disposal according to Roman administrative needs. Executions were staged as both warning and spectacle, a brutal display to enforce order across the empire. Jerusalem was torn apart, stone by stone, as Roman forces erased its streets and homes. The dead were counted, each mark recording a life lost, a silent testament to the scale of the slaughter. Rome immortalized its victory, while the city it leveled remained a silent ruin. The city's heart was gone. Survivors clung to the fragments of a faith erased from their streets. Survivors were scattered, carrying memories of home. They wandered far from the ruins of their past. Starvation in siege proved effective. Rome recorded cruelty as strategy for the future. Most victims left no words, their suffering preserved only in what they left behind. Josephus survived by defecting, recording the war by lamplight, suspended between loyalty and survival. Layers of ash and charred timber remain. Each stratum confirms destruction recorded long ago. For Rome, Jerusalem's destruction was routine, a bureaucratic success. The conqueror's story endured. Local voices were silenced. leaving only the version Rome chose to remember. The city's ruins endured, a stark reminder shaping memory for generations. Excavators uncover fragments of life, where human presence ended and history turned to ash and stone. The plateau remained empty. No rebuilding followed, only the enduring void of a city that had ceased to exist. Rome turned its gaze elsewhere. Jerusalem lay in ruins while life continued across the empire. Empty doorways reveal a human cost beyond maps or ledgers. The end.